Good evening. My name is Vincent Robert Free, and I'm currently attending Full Sail University Online. And the person that I want to talk about here tonight is Norbert Wiener. Norbert Wiener is considered to be essentially the founder of artificial intelligence. He started principal work on it, and he actually published a book called Cybernetics back in 1948, essentially outlining the different structures and systems and the relation between man and machine. Um, that book was, used for reference years and years into the future, you know, for research on artificial intelligence. And, the way that that all came to be and the way that Norbert Wiener, was the one that wrote it, um, was he actually worked for the United States military during World War II, essentially developing anti-aircraft systems that were capable of tracking aircraft on radar, projecting where that aircraft was going and how fast it was going, and then being able to launch a projectile to take down the enemy aircraft, at its projected position. So these very primitive machines were essentially being able to think for themselves. They were able to distinguish an enemy aircraft. They were able to launch and fire and hit a target, and that is what Norbert Wiener worked on. Now, fast forwarding a bit after the war, he said he was done. He turned pacifist. He didn't want his research being used for war, and had that gone a different way, had he accepted that military contract and continued doing research for the government, we could have potentially been seeing artificial intelligence war machines a lot sooner than we do nowadays. Now we have drones, that are capable of, running off of artificial intelligence and being able to make, intelligent decisions, based on the battlefield. And, looking back on it, had we had that technology, had we developed that, 50, 60 years ago, then that could have changed, the outcome of a lot of different things. We could have, the Korean War would have been, we could have breezed through that. Same with the Cold War, the Vietnam War. There were so many wars that America has been involved in, since 1948, and not even wars, but conflicts as well, that had we suffered no casualties, had we, absolutely decimated the enemy, we could have been looking at ourselves as being, the superpower of the world. And not that America isn't a superpower nowadays, but it would have been much more than what it is. Um, and that's a scary thought, because that artificial intelligence could have been, eventually implemented into police officers, etc., etc., where one, Americans are losing jobs, and two, they're put in, you know, positions where these artificial intelligence, these machines are making the decisions on, potentially killing a human being. And I really hope that I don't ever live long enough to see a world like that. But as things are going, I mean, currently, well, I'm probably going to see that in my lifetime, but I guess it's better now than, where we understand more about it and we have more technology to sort of correct that, compared to what we had 60 years ago, because it could have been potentially devastating, for everything. So, let's just be glad, Terminator isn't a real thing. Good night.